Hi, Dan Fontaine, Fontaine Network. I was heading to the ballpark today to record my video for the day, and I noticed that they had left the flag up on the post today, and it's at half-mast in remembrance of Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. What is that, 73 years ago. So hopefully those that are seeing this on Sunday and throughout the week will remember our veterans and our active service military and thank them for what they do for this country and the sacrifices and the effort they make on our behalf. Again, Dan Fontaine, and right now I'm sitting on kind of a jungle gym / slide at that same ballpark where the flag was at half-mast. And again, that flag to remind us of December 7th, 1941, the major incident that got us involved in a war with Japan, and then of course got us into European war after Hitler declared war on us, 2 or 3 days later. But really, it's more of a remembrance of the veterans who have served this country over the 2 centuries and the active military that are serving us now, protecting us home and away in this holiday season. So thank you very much for what you have done and what you are doing on my behalf. So thank you. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about 10 possible mistakes you might be making or we might be making that are holding us back in reaching our life's goals. And this is from a company or from a blog called lifehack.org, and here's their address. And let's start with the first one and see if any of these resonate with you. They may or may not. Certainly give us pause to think, though. So the first one is pursuing several goals at once, and suggesting that you always focus on 1 or 2 goals at a time. Several goals, you might be spreading yourself too thin, and you're not dedicating yourself to the 1 or 2 goals that are most important to you. So identify those goals. The second one, number 2, setting a huge and unachievable goal. We have to be realistic as well. What can we do? I'm not going to run 100 meters. Probably at all, much less am I going to run 100 meters at 10 seconds flat. So that's not reasonable. But that doesn't mean that I can't go out and run and stretch and get more healthy and see what I can do there. So setting a goal that's unachievable is obviously going to limited chance of success, and And you'll just be spinning your wheels, and you may start to affect maybe even your self-confidence. So be realistic, but also set them a little higher than maybe you think you can go, because you'll grow into it. Number 3 is not taking any action towards that goal. We've all met a lot of people, and perhaps in our past we've said, I'm going to do this, and then I don't take any action, whether it's fear or we've talked about procrastination or habits. So you need to take action towards that goal. Need to have some planning. Number 4, not putting results before comfort. Well, if we don't get out of our comfort zones, we're not going to really stretch. We're not going to grow and be all that we can be. Talked about excellence last few videos, and how are you going to test yourself? How are you going to be better? How are you going to pursue your own personal excellence if you don't step out of your comfort zone? Number 5, and here's a classic one, and I don't have the answer for all of this, but number 5, giving up too soon. How long do you try before you give up? And trying is not the same thing like, over and over and over trying the same thing. But as we recall Edison, the story is that he failed some, 900 some times before he got the answer for the light bulb. Well, what he really did was He didn't fail at all. He just found out something that didn't work. So trying the same thing isn't helpful, but tweaking your strategy a little bit or doing something a little differently may be just the answer to get you where you want to go. Number 6, playing the victim. Poor me, oh, why doesn't this work? Why won't anybody help me? Well, playing the victim serves absolutely no purpose, and it's going to be detrimental to your success. It disempowers yourself, and it places your success or your lack of success outside of yourself. It means somebody else may be controlling your success. You're a victim. It's not working for you. I've heard a comment one time, and it was, "Suck it up, princess." Okay, yeah, it isn't working. Gosh darn it, it's bumming me out. But take responsibility for your actions, and if you do that, you'll never be a victim. You may not get where you want to go right away, but you're not a victim. You're taking personal responsibility. 7, not having a clear direction. Again, I mentioned a little planning. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know when you get there? And how do you know if you're even on the right path? So having a goal, we talked last week about having a daily, weekly, monthly plan, a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, a yearly plan. Having some goals that you can reach and that will get you step by step in the direction that you want to go, or having some plans towards that goal. Number 8, and this is a classic, always expecting the worst. If you're always expecting the worst, chances are that's what you're going to find. To think is to create. So expecting the worst will more often than not get you the worst, because you're not looking up, you're not looking forward, you're not seeing the silver lining. It's a very negative approach. And apparently Henry Ford once said that whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So check how you're thinking. Where's your energy going? Number 9, if you're doing what you think you should do, number 9, doing what you think you should and not what you want. If you feel like you should be chasing a certain goal, you're not going to be inspired to take action. And you're going to feel some sort of resistance. It just doesn't resonate with who you are or what you really want to do. So don't pursue what you think you should do or someone else thinks you should do. Pursue what you want. What has that emotional touch, that little tinge there that helps you know that you're on the right direction. It moves you. And then number 10, if you're not dealing with the obstacles. If you let things shut you down, and they're bound to come up, but if you give up at the first sign of the obstacle, you're going to find it very difficult to achieve most, if not any, of your goals. So if you're goal setting, you should identify, what certain obstacles you think you're going to have, and plan for ways to overcome them. Seek advice. Read self-help books. I think those are self-growth, personal growth books. But when you run into an obstacle, plan for as many as you can. They're just that. They're an obstacle to be overcome. So it's really more important than how you deal with them. And, finally, goal setting doesn't have to be an all-consuming, tedious affair. Just, what direction feels good? What is it you want to do? We talked about creating your why. If you know your why, and it's strong enough, that's going to suggest goals for you right off the bat. So with that in mind, please check out your thinking on this. Look at various sources of information and opportunity. Dan Fontaine, Fontaine Network, and check out my website for some of those blogs that may help you with procrastination, with habits, and seeking your goals. So last day of the weekend, so have a nice evening, and hopefully your football team won if you're a big football fan, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.